Welcome to the Disaster Expedition.
Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is a masterpiece, a display of skill, creativity, craftsmanship, and passion that over-delivers to such a degree that I've decided to do something I've never considered in the 17 years that I've been reviewing video games. Until now, I've decided to score a game higher than a 10 out of 10.
Oh. You're serious?
Yes, he is.
Now before you call me a brain-dead douche canoe, at least let me explain why. I want to make it clear that there's no need to worry if you haven't yet finished the game, because I'm not going to be spoiling anything in this video at all. I'm keeping almost all footage from earlier parts of the game and won't be spoiling any major story plot points, boss battles, or any of that. Before we kick things off, I just want to ask that if you enjoy the video, please do give it a like before heading off, and of course if you want to see more of my videos in future, subscribe to the channel.
Slow down. We don't know what's inside yet.
First, let's take a look at what it means for a game like Clair Obscur to even exist in the gaming industry right now, before I take a deep dive into my list of exactly what makes this game so special, why it really deserves to be called a masterpiece, and why it deserves the score that I'm giving it. This is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Let's take a look.
Must
So I know that some of you are only still watching because you can't believe I was dumb enough to say that a game deserves an 11 out of 10, but I say, if students can get higher than 100% on an exam by nailing every question and also bagging extra credit, well then I don't see why a video game can't be treated exactly the same way. It's incredible to witness and experience a creative vision that's been masterfully executed, to see what it looks like when passion, talent, and hard work are allowed to fire on all cylinders without the need to shoehorn in monetization systems, existing intellectual properties, or input from some corporate suit that's never played through a full video game in their entire life. The creator of this game was sitting at Ubisoft before he decided to go off and do his own thing. I mean, he put together this crazy little group of people from all sorts of places. They found the composer on SoundCloud, for Pete's sakes, and that composer had never even worked on a video game before. And the lead writer originally tried out as a voice actress, but then switched roles to write, I don't know, just one of the best video game stories I've experienced. And I mean, holy crap, man. A game like Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is, quite frankly, a big fat French middle finger to the video game publishers spending 10 times as much to create games that are only half as good. And the talent is right there, sitting in their offices, wasting away. But look, that's enough about that. It's time to go through the list of why Clair Obscur Expedition 33 deserves every bit of praise it's getting, and then wrap it up with my final conclusion on why it genuinely deserves my ludicrous rating of 11 out of 10.
even if we fail, we lay the trail for those who will come after. Right.
I'll never forget the night of the Xbox showcase when I saw this announced trailer, and I remember sitting up and thinking, what is this? This looks new, this looks fresh, this looks like something I haven't seen before, like this has my interest. So, you know, you look at this and it's like a JRPG, it's like Final Fantasy and Persona, but it's realistic and...
French! Why do you think I have this outrageous accent, you silly king?
As I started playing it and I started moving through different areas, just kept looking around thinking, this looks so unique. I genuinely feel like I'm seeing something new for the first time in a long time. This is what pure creativity looks like. It's a vision come to life. I mean, you can't believe that something modest in terms of its budget is delivering something so incredible. This game has somehow managed to make turn-based really exciting and fun. It's got this dodging and parrying system that needs you to be really on the ball, so you don't just sit bored while the other team's, doing their thing, or, a typical problem with turn-based games. You have to be on the money, you have to be watching what they're doing, and you have to learn their movesets that you can learn to dodge and parry these attacks in order to win the fights. And this makes it really exciting. And together with all the cool visuals and the sound and the movesets that the characters have, the combat is incredibly exciting in itself, and it becomes really rewarding. You struggle with the dodging and parrying in the beginning, but later on, when all your characters are working together, you're parrying things and dodging things and doing these massive cool looking counterattacks, it just feels so good. They've really nailed this part of the game, and this was a very important part. You're going to look forward to all the combat and the encounters that you get into. There's also different types of gameplay, of course. You've got your combat, but then you also have your sort of running around and exploration, and there's different levels of that. If you're in a main area, you're running around in third person, And if you see enemies and run into them, it'll, or attack them, it'll kick in your turn-based combat mode. There's also an overworld where you're sort of in a map moving around, which is quite a callback to the older JRPGs. Thank goodness, instead of random encounters, you can see enemies on the map and you can choose to try and engage with them or sort of run around them and so on. When you're in the third-person mode, some might actually chase you and you have to either run away from them or just try and attack them. If you attack them, you get first strike, and then you can play first, which is quite important. This all combined is really great and lots of fun. The exploration feels good and it's got this beautiful music playing over it, and the world is quite large and there's a lot to explore. What I really liked as well is that over time things actually evolve, and things that you couldn't do before you can start doing, and it opens up the map in new ways, and it's really just great. So the gameplay is really solid, and for many people, the gameplay alone would be enough to sell them on a game like this. But this is why this game is so special, because this game has other elements which people would also be interested in fully if that was the only thing it had going for it.
I knew I'd find you.
Now, this game just looks so good. And when I say the visuals, I'm not just talking about graphics and the graphics engine in Unreal 5. It does the job fine. But I'm talking about the art and the concepts and the whole art design and the world design and the character design. It's really, really special. This is some weird mishmash of Western and Eastern concepts all coexisting. It's like a JRPG, but it's made by French people, and it's got these French stylings to it, and the feelings of the art and painting and sculpture and architecture. And it's not just that, but it's the incredible animations of the combat, for example, looks so good, and the special effects coming off of the combat and the attacks looks amazing, and it resonates with you when you hit or do a counterattack. It feels so badass because it looks badass. But then you've also got these smaller, more subtle facial performances on the characters that are so good that you are able to read intentions and thoughts and, moments, body language and things off of them during cutscenes. There's these moments where just the look on a character's face or a little motion that they've done can help you understand where their motivation is in that scene. And it's something that's coming with the new technology, and I'm not entirely sure. Maybe Unreal Engine 5 is delivering on some of its promises, that it's making it easier for developers to make things like this on a lower budget or faster or whatever. I'm no expert on that, but either way, the ultimate presentation of this game, the interfaces, the visuals, the worlds, the everything, from the world map to the character design to the creature design, absolutely stunning. And what a joy and a pleasure it is to play a game where everything just feels unique and new and interesting, and not just something that you've seen already. It's not often that music is such a big part of the experience in a game that isn't a music game, but the score in this game is masterful. The soundtrack is absolutely incredible. As I mentioned before, the composer, this is their first time doing a video game, yet they're doing these main themes and character themes and world themes, and I think it's 120 plus tracks or something they did for this game, and it's unbelievably good. You cannot believe that they didn't go and find the industry's most experienced veteran to come and do the score for this game, because it's that good. The sound design is equally as good, and the voiceover, the characters sound great, the sound sounds great when you're in combat and you hit someone and these big boom special effects come off of them, and the sound and the bass and everything comes together. It really just feels so good.
Soon she'll wake and paint again. Paint a new number.
Now, I'm not going to go into spoilers, but this story is on a different level to what we're used to. It's intriguing, it's fascinating, it respects the audience, but it also challenges the audience enough to just make you have to accept that you are being kept in the dark about certain things while you catch a glimpse into this world. Sort of like how when Star Wars first came out in the 70s, people didn't understand the world, they didn't know what was going on, but you're enthralled because you're just with these characters and you're sort of figuring it out as you go along. And there's just so much in the story that unfolds and develops over time. You really don't know what's going to happen next in the best of ways, because this idea of this story doesn't play by the rules, and that only works if it's good, and it's damn good. because if it isn't good, something like this falls apart very badly. And the characters as well, they have personalities and their own ideas and their own traits, and they're not just serving a formula or some agenda or something. They're true to themselves. Their dialogue feels realized, it feels real, and yet it all serves the story, but it feels the whole time like they are being true to themselves and being accurate to their characters, which I really appreciated. And it's the kind of thing these days that when you start experiencing it, you pick it up quite quick and you think to yourself, wow, that is not what I'm used to these days. I'm used to things being a bit sort of flat, a bit formulaic.
What are we gonna do, huh? Tell me. What are we gonna do? We're gonna take down the paintress, just the three of us? My gun and your sparks?
I didn't take you for a coward.
I'm not a coward.
And it's not just the dialogue, I mentioned this earlier in the graphics as well, but the performances too, the body language and a glance here and things like that. It shows motivation and it's really special. And they've paid so much attention to the details here, where if you pay attention in certain cutscenes, you'll notice that a bunch of characters might have one expression on their face and you'll notice that another one has a different expression. Later on you'll find something out and you'll realize why that was. There's a lot of depth there. You think back and you think that's why the other people looked that way, because they knew something they didn't. Or absolutely special. If you like stories, like if you play video games for stories, this alone is reason to get yourself through this game. Put the difficulty on story mode, make it as easy as you can, and just hammer through to experience it. I would at least rather you did that than just watch like a YouTube video of this game, because the thing is that you have to experience this with the characters. It really makes quite a difference to be there with them across, along this journey. So if you're going to do one or the other, make it as easy as you can and just, hammer through it. But of course, if you're playing it on the normal and the higher difficulties, you're going to have a really good gameplay experience as well. All right, so we're on the home stretch with my last point before I get to the conclusion. We now live in a world of $70 and $80 games. This is a game that is $50 and it's on Game Pass day one. And it's got a 40 to 60 hour campaign and more if you want. This game has no bloat. It has no microtransactions. It has no product placement. It's also incredibly polished. This just feels like something that is impossible to expect from a big studio game these days. And it's all for $20 cheaper than the games that are coming out right now. So let's wrap this all up. Sure, Clair Obscur isn't perfect. No masterpiece actually is. If I want to really nitpick, I can point out that the Unreal Engine can look a little noisy at times. The interface could be improved in a few places, and the name is, well, it's kind of wordy. Okay, maybe it's not that bad. But really, it's quite amazing how much you're willing to instantly forgive when you know a small team made something this incredibly good and aren't charging $70 for it, because that's the point exactly. Clair Obscur cost 20 US buckaroos less than what people paid for a game like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which is now dead, and Ubisoft's Skull and Bones, and it's not looking good for that one either. Yet still delivers a full, fun, beautiful, polished, engaging 40 to 80 hour campaign with a great story, excellent combat, new game plus, no microtransactions and no unnecessary bloat. The team at Sandfall Interactive have undercharged and over-delivered. At $70 or $80, this would have still been a 10 out of 10 title and a Game of the Year contender. But a game of this scale and quality at $20 less, well, that deserves a little more, don't you think? Clair Obscur Expedition 33 isn't just a good game, it's a great game, it's a masterpiece. It's a tour de force from a studio that's releasing only its first game, with a ragtag team of developers, some of whom haven't even worked on a video game before. It's got incredible gameplay, incredible graphics, an incredible story. It's got everything you'd want, and it's even priced lower than a full-price game. I highly recommend this game, and for all these reasons, I'm awarding it the absolutely stupid and ludicrous score of 11 out of 10.
Count me in then. Good. 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 Good.
Yes, good.
Now that I've had my say, you can go ahead and still call me a brain-dead douche canoe if you want to. I mean, I probably deserve it. And speaking of saying things, I'm super interested to hear what you think about the game, so make sure to hit up the comments below and let me know what you think about the experience, either so far or overall. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to hit the like button before you go, and if you want to see more of my videos in future, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching, I'll see you soon.